All these 39 years I've been with you, just for the money. I finally found a man worthy of me. He's better than you in everything." The words hit Mark like a freight train out of nowhere. From Sarah, his wife of decades, it was clear as day he'd been played and payback was due. "You're burning the candle at both ends, you know?" Sarah's voice, soft but edged, cut through the silence as her hands started kneading Mark's stiff shoulders. He was hunched over the kitchen island, eyes locked on the glowing spreadsheet on his tablet. Muscles tight from hours of work, mind spinning with numbers and deadlines. Mark let out a tired chuckle, leaning back slightly. "Gotta keep the lights on, right? Just a little longer, then I'm all yours." "You always say that," Sarah teased, but a sharper note crept into her voice. Her hand brushed his arm before she moved away towards the fridge. "Remember, Mom's coming over tonight." She tossed over her shoulder, grabbing a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. Mark's brow furrowed. Karen, Sarah's mother. Never an easy guest. Not the snide comments or the judgmental looks. It was the subtle poison she dripped into Sarah's ear, casting shadows over their marriage. He'd learned to navigate those dinners, polite and distant, but they always left him feeling drained. "Your mom's coming?" Mark's voice stayed even, though a knot of anxiety tightened in his stomach. "Yep," Sarah replied, pouring wine, turning to him with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "And a friend might join us, too." Mark's jaw tightened, though he kept his tone light. "Friend? With your mom? You sure that's a party?" He laughed, trying to shake off the unease creeping up his spine. Sarah handed him a glass, leaning against the counter, taking a sip. "Trust me," she said, smile still plastered on, but something cold flickered in her eyes. "You'll like him." Something in her gaze made Mark uneasy. Sarah had been acting off lately, switching between distant and clingy. He'd chalked it up to stress. Work was brutal. He was working himself ragged to keep them afloat. "Sure I will," Mark said, swallowing his unease with wine. He turned back to his tablet, but focus was shot. His eyes kept drifting back to Sarah, now glued to her phone on the couch, fingers flying across the screen. Every few minutes, a buzz, followed by a sly smile. "Who's that?" he asked, trying for casual. "Just friends," she replied, not looking up. "Nothing." Mark frowned, didn't push. Sarah valued her space. He respected that. But tonight felt different. A subtle tension hung in the air, almost invisible, but there. A shift in their home's atmosphere. Minutes dragged by as Mark finished work, relief flooding him as he shut the tablet. He stretched, easing his tense muscles, glanced again at Sarah, still lost in her phone. Pushing down anxious thoughts, he headed to the kitchen to check on dinner. "When's your mom supposed to get here?" he called out, peeking at the roast in the oven. "Half an hour," Sarah answered, fingers still dancing on her phone. "And your friend?" Mark asked, wiping hands on a towel, letting the question hang. Who was this friend? Sarah looked up, eyes sparkling, a playful smirk. "Oh, someone you might find interesting," she said, voice dripping with something he couldn't place. No more info. Before Mark could press, the doorbell rang. "They can't be here already," Mark muttered, checking the clock. 8 p.m. Sarah was already up, phone in her back pocket. "I'll get it. Probably Mom," she said, heading for the door. Mark focused on dinner. Family dinners were his way of showing he cared, even if things with Sarah were strained. Meat perfect, veggies just right. He set out the wine. Doorbell again. "I said I'd get it!" Sarah's voice, light but sharp, made Mark uneasy. Strange all evening, mentioning Anthony. He couldn't shake the feeling. Wiping hands again, glancing at the carefully set table, heart tight. Something was wrong. Voices from the hall. Discomfort growing. Laughter. Low. Unfamiliar. Male. not Anthony's laugh. Pulse quickened. Closer to the dining room, trying to see. "Mark, come meet my friend." Sarah's voice, same playful note. Mark stepped into the room, froze. Karen, head of the table, smug look. Man beside her, stranger. Tall, broad, air of superiority. Tight black shirt, expensive jeans, slicked back hair, oozing confidence that made Mark instantly uneasy. He sat like he owned the place, arm around Sarah's waist, her hand on his shoulder, no doubt. More than friends. "This is Chad," Sarah said, too cheerful, name rolling off her tongue too easily. Gestured to the man, smile out of place. "He's joining us for dinner." "Us for?" Chad grinned, hand out to Mark. "Hey, heard a lot about you." Mark hesitated, processing. Who was this guy? Why no mention before? Forcing a smile, he shook Chad's hand. "Nice to meet you, Chad," Mark said, voice calm, hollow inside. Storm of anxiety brewing. "Sarah's told me how hard you work," Chad said, handshake a bit too firm. "Respect people who put in effort." Undertone of arrogance complement a taunt. Someone's gotta," Mark replied, slipping hand in pocket. Quick glance at Sarah, too close to Chad. Her laugh at his joke. Wrong. Clearing throat. "How did you two meet?" Casual tone, air thick with tension. Sarah met his gaze, expression almost daring him. "Oh, we've known each other forever," she answered vaguely, sitting on the couch. "Ran into each other recently, thought it'd be fun to catch up." Mark stood there, words sinking in. Never mentioned him. Now he's at their table. Interaction not old friends reuniting. Too intimate. Chad, smug look, sat beside Sarah on the couch, too close for comfort. Mark leaned back on the couch, hand resting on the back, inches from Sarah. "Sarah keeps me updated," Chad smirked. "Reminded me of all the good times you two had." Wink followed by Sarah's soft laugh. Mark's stomach tightened. Wrong. Felt like a stranger in his own home, watching his wife openly flirt with a guy who clearly had zero boundaries. Before Mark could speak, Karen, other end of the room, let out a sharp, mocking laugh. "Sarah, darling," cold tone. Maybe it's time to tell him the truth. Mark deserves to know. Mark's eyes darted to Sarah, anxiety exploding, lump in his throat. "What's going on?" he asked, voice calm, tension obvious. Sarah glanced at Karen, cruel smile curling her lips. "Mom's right." Voice like a blade, hand on Chad's chest, turning to Mark, look blending pity and contempt. "Time you face the truth. You're pathetic, Mark." Heart racing, breath uneven, staring at her, hoping joke. "What do you mean?" Voice trembling. Sarah's smile widened, malicious glint. "Don't play dumb, Mark. Did you really think I've been happy all these years?" Stepped away from Chad, arms folded, glaring. "You've been killing yourself at work, thinking it's for me? I never needed you, Mark. You were just there." Bitter laugh, glance at Karen for approval. "I've been with Chad for 3 months now. He's everything you're not. Strong, confident, a real man." Each word a punch to Mark's gut. 3 months. Thoughts spinning, betrayal unfolding. "Sarah, you can't be serious," whispered, hands trembling, disbelief and heartbreak battling. Sarah's expression cold, merciless. "Oh, I'm dead serious," she hissed, venom dripping. Turned to Chad, smirk. "Mom told me to leave you ages ago, but why not have the best of both worlds? Chad gives me what you never could, especially in bed." Snorted. Chad chuckled beside her, gaze on Mark, daring him to react. Mark felt blood drain from his face, Sarah's words echoing. shock and rage crashing over him, fists clenched. Chad leaned back, smug grin. "Go on, tell him," Sarah teased, nudging Chad. Chad laughed softly, looking at Mark. "Yeah, Mark, gotta accept it. I give your wife everything she needs. Everything you never could." Chad's grin widened. "Every time you worked late, I was here, taking care of everything." Leaned back again, smile in Mark's direction. Rage clouded Mark's vision. Every fiber wanted to hit Chad, scream at Sarah, tear down this humiliation. But he stood, fists clenched, heart pounding. Violence wouldn't solve anything. Not here, not now. Karen's voice cut through tension, knife. "You've always been a fool, Mark." Slow, sipping wine. Satisfied smile. "I warned Sarah not to settle for someone like you. Weak. Pathetic." Words hung heavy. Mark felt his world collapsing. Sarah looked at Chad. Satisfaction. This was the man she deserved. Across table, Mark's jaw clenched, teeth grinding, eyes locked on Sarah's, pain and anger. "Do you really believe that?" Voice tense, muted. Sarah didn't flinch. Cold, distant. "Yes. You mean nothing to me now, Mark. You were just a means to an end. Chad is my future." Chad chuckled, swirling wine's smug grin. "Yeah, Mark, accept it. I'm in charge now." Leaned forward, arrogant. "Honestly, buddy, should have seen this coming. Your wife's been dreaming of a real man for a long time. Now she found him." Mark stood frozen, betrayal unbearable. But something hardened inside. Cold calm settled over his face. Slowly surveyed Chad, then Sarah, expression unreadable. Room, tense moments ago, eerie silence. Chad, lounging, lazily wiped soup from his face. Breath labored. Sarah, shaken but angry, stood behind him, trembling, reaching for a towel. Karen, wineglass, watching, disdain, smirk. Mark walked to end of table, gaze sweeping over scene. Moment of silence. Then, venom in his voice. "Well, genius," Mark whispered. "Welcome to the family. Hope you enjoy your last dinner together." Chad, stunned, barely reacted. Flash. Mark lunged, speed surprising, grabbed Chad by nape of neck, fingers digging in, shoved face into steaming bowl of food. Chad's hands flailed, desperate, but Mark's grip iron. Screams pierced silence as Chad's face blistered. Sarah gasped. Horror. Karen dropped glass, shattering on floor. "What the hell, Mark?" Sarah shouted, shock and fury. Rushed forward, Mark faster. Released Chad, who collapsed, gasping, face burned. Mark turned to her. "You think you can humiliate me? Disrespect me in my home?" Dangerous growl advanced on her. Sarah backed away, instinctive. Mark quicker. Grabbed wrist, yanked her close. Before she could escape, swift motion, twisted arm, shoved her face into the same bowl of sauce. Screams muffled, struggling to break free, clinging to table. Mark's grip too strong. "Bastard!" Sarah shouted as he let go. Face smeared rage and shock. Karen, watching daughter's humiliation, stepped forward, face contorted, fury, insulted more than frightened. "You've lost your mind, Mark," hissed, contempt. "How dare you? You've always been worthless and always will be." Breathing heavily, Mark turned to Karen, slow, cold smile. Rage, suppressed so long, seeping out. "Me?" Mark responded, voice surprisingly calm, eyes blazing. "Do you think I've lost my mind? voice sliced through tension, each word sharp. Eyes cold, rage unrelenting, bore into Karen. "From day one, you've been turning her against me, Karen," he growled, stepping forward. Karen faltered, fear flickering. "Fed her lies, pushed her to leave, waiting for me to fail." Accusations louder. Sarah, trembling, hid in his shadow, heart pounding. "Well, guess what?" Words dripped bitterness. "I'm done with all of you." Karen opened mouth. Mark cut her off, gesture. "Enough." Tone no argument. "Did you really think you could make a fool of me?" Gaze darkened, voice venomous. "Thought you could use me, walk away, no consequences?" Sarah, wiping soup, tried to pull herself together, body shaking. "You're crazy, Mark," Sarah spat, voice trembling, defiant. "Think this changes anything? Hurting us doesn't make you stronger, just pathetic." Words hit hard. Mark didn't respond. Just stared, contemplating fury. First time tonight, Sarah felt full weight of his anger. Across room, Chad slumped, groaning, touching burned skin. Neither Sarah nor Mark glanced at him. "You still don't get it," Mark said, voice disturbingly calm. "I don't care about being a hero anymore. Don't care what you think. You made your choice long ago." Glance at Chad, weakly groaning. "Threw away 39 years for this." Chad silent, too weak to defend himself, pride wounded as much as body. Sarah's gaze darted between men, anger too strong to back down. "You were never enough for me, Mark," she snarled, voice shaking. "Never will be. Not for me, not for anyone. Was going to leave anyway. Chad, he's a real man, you're just a loser." Karen, beside Sarah, smirked smugly. "She's right, Mark," Karen said, disdain. "You've always been beneath her. She deserves better than you could ever offer. A real man would—" Mark's attention snapped to Karen, eyes narrowing, menacing step. Lips curled dangerous smile, voice icy whisper. "And you," he said slowly, cold, certain. "You've been waiting for this, haven't you? Filling her head with lies, convincing her she deserved more, telling her I was nothing." Stopped inches from Karen, eyes locked, silent battle. "Well, I've got news for you, Karen." Voice cold ice. "Only ones losing here are you and your daughter." Karen flinched, confidence fading. "Don't you dare talk to me like that," she hissed, voice lacking sharpness. "You're nothing." Before she finished, Mark slammed hand on table, thunderous crash, silencing room. "You took everything from me." Voice calm, laced threat. "Now it's my turn to take something from you." Pulled envelope from pocket, tossed it to Sarah. Hands trembled, staring at it, confusion. What is this?" she whispered. "Divorce papers," Mark said, emotionless. "Already signed. These are for you, Sarah. If you want to be with him, your choice." Met her gaze, unwavering. "But don't even think you're getting a dime from me. Not after everything." Sarah's face pale, tore open envelope, trembling hands frantically scanning docs. "You can't do this," she breathed, voice cracking, desperation. "You can't leave me with nothing." Mark's smile cold, almost cruel. Corner of room, faint groan from Chad, trying to speak. Mark snapped, "Shut up, Chad," to Sarah. "For both of you, it's over. You made your choices. Now face the consequences." Karen stood frozen, shocked, watching it unfold. Mark turned away. Door. "Where are you going?" Sarah's voice wavered. Panic. Mark paused, hand on knob. "Away from all of this," he answered quietly. "You've taken enough from my life. Now it's my turn to take it back. words he walked out, leaving shattered remnants of family. Days after that night, Mark's world changed. Not chaotic, reclaiming power. 39 years poisoned marriage, lies, betrayal. Now, every move calculated. Rage gone, cold focus. Revenge, not quick, slow, precise, suffocating. Divorce papers, start. Divorce finalized ASAP, Mark told lawyer. No dragging it out, just over. She gets nothing. Moving fast, Mark, lawyer assured. Evidence you provided, straightforward. Mark thorough. Every message, bank statement. Sarah's infidelity, attempts to drain accounts, documented. Legal team swift. Days. Sarah received papers, but Mark didn't stop. News of Sarah's betrayal spread through social circle, wildfire. No posts, but story of that night whispered. Rumors. Soon everyone knew. Friends, family, colleagues. Sarah's affair with Chad. All talk, no substance. Days. Sarah's phone rang non-stop. Messages no longer supportive. Friends, once vying for party invites, now avoided her. Horrified by scandal. Some shocked by cruelty, others by brazen boasting about using Mark for money. Vast social network collapsed. Thought you were better than this. Cutting message from close friend knife. Can't believe you did this to Mark. Another. Need space. Sarah tried to explain. Salvage sympathy, no one listening. Carefully built image, perfect wife, society queen, crumbling. How could they all turn on me? She muttered bitterly, pacing empty house. Chad vanished days ago. Long stopped hoping for return. After that night, gone, ignoring calls, messages, erased himself. You can't just leave me like this, she whispered to emptiness. No one to hear. Mark Jim. Hobbies, dating world. Life not luxury, but real. No lies, manipulation, betrayal. One evening, balcony, coffee, sunset, notification, message from Sarah. Long, apologies, excuses, desperate pleas for second chance. Made mistake, Mark. Didn't realize what I had till lost it. Regret refusing kids, now no one to help me. Can we talk? Mark read, silent, eyes on screen. Familiar anger flickered, faded. Calm. Let it all go. Closed message, stood, went inside, ready for next chapter. Sarah, Chad, Karen, left with chaos. Tangled in consequences. Mark, chapter closed. Control, no looking back. Year passed since breakup. Life settled, peaceful rhythm. Sleepless nights, anxiety, disappointment, replaced by contentment. New home, modest, well-kept, quiet neighborhood. Not luxury house with Sarah, but suited him. Truly happy. Poured whiskey, watched amber swirl, sunset shadows. Slow sip, savoring taste, quiet realization. Chaos past, distant. Pride, rebuilt life, accomplishment. New beginnings, Mark whispered, raising glass to empty room. Phone vibrated. Samantha. Name brought back betrayal, pain, but no anger, bitterness. Faded, moved on. Curiosity. Opened message. Mark, I know I don't deserve this, but I need to talk to you. Please. Short, desperate, hopelessness. Mark stared, put phone down. Sip of whiskey, faint smile. Sarah no longer problem. Since divorce, life spiraled. Rumors from friends. Chad gone. Sarah struggled mortgage, bank took house, small apartment, other side of town, far from luxury. Karen, stroke, bedridden. Proud matriarch, disdain for Mark, now helpless. Poetic justice. No satisfaction, no pity. Their choices. He chose not to save them. Remembered dinner, shoving Chad's face, chuckled. That moment set it all in motion. Right thing. Chaos inevitable, necessary. Too long others controlled life, now master of fate. Phone vibrated again. Samantha. Mark, I'm begging you. I've lost everything. Mom's in bad condition. I need money, please. Desperation voice. Mark felt nothing. Years devoted to Sarah. Love, loyalty, support. Thrown away for fleeting affair. Someone who vanished when tough. Too late to fix past. Pain deep. Damage irreversible. Mark switched off phone. Placed it on table. Walked to living room window. Whiskey glass swirling. Sun setting, golden rays fading, warm glow, peace he hadn't felt in years. Sudden knock disrupted silence. Clock, late for visitors. Frown peeked through peephole. Richard, old friend, years since seen. Hesitation, unlocked, opened. Richard, ages, Mark said, stepping aside. Richard tired, smiled. Long time. Sorry. Unannounced. Needed to talk. Mark waved it off. Don't worry. Come in. Drink? Kitchen, Richard followed. Same as you, Richard replied, glancing around. Nice place. Doing well. Mark nodded, pouring whiskey, handing to Richard. Thanks. Long road. Okay now. Richard took sip. Gathered thoughts. Heard about Sarah, cautiously. Mark raised eyebrow. Oh? What now? Richard hesitated. She's telling people she wants to come back. Regrets everything. Wants to make things right. Mark laughed, Richard off guard. You're kidding. Shaking head. Plenty of chances. Threw it away for Chad. I'm done. Richard let her say what she wants. Door closed. Richard leaned back, nodding. Figured. Thought you should know. Thanks, Mark said, sip of whiskey. Nothing she can say or do. I'm out. She needs to accept that. Heavy silence. Richard looked closely. You've changed, observed. Truly done. Small smile on Mark's face. Yeah, I am. Wasn't easy. Walking away, best thing. Rebuilt life, better now. Richard raised glass. New beginnings. Clinked glasses. Mark felt truth of words. Life his own. Free from Sarah's betrayal. Toxic family. Shame. Hour passed. Shared memories. Laughter. Future talk. Evening. Richard left. Mark lingered. Door, watching friend disappear. Closed door. Closure. Living room, last whiskey. Window. Night. Dark velvet sky. Shimmering stars. Raised glass again. Not victory. Tribute to trials overcome. New beginnings, whispered softly. Evening stillness enveloped him. Triumphed over challenges. Lies, betrayal, sorrow endured. Threshold of future, shape as he wished. Long since felt such anticipation.